Imagine it's 1959. America is booming. Rock and roll is blasting through diner jukeboxes. Neon lights glow across Main Street. And then you hear it beat deep. Thunderous V8 trouble rolling down the boulevard. Heads turn. Conversations stop. Chrome flashes under the streetlight. That's not just any car. That's the 1959 Chevrolet Impala 348. This wasn't transportation. This was a rolling statement. Chevrolet went all in for 1959. The design was bold, almost outrageous. Those massive batwing tailfins looked like they were ripped straight from a jet fighter. The body was longer, lower, wider. The chrome stretched from bumper to bumper like liquid metal. Even standing still, the car looked fast. But the real magic lived under the hood. The 348 cubic inch V8 wasn't just an engine. It was attitude cast in iron. When you turned the key, the car didn't politely start, it woke up. A deep mechanical growl filled the air. Depending on configuration, it pushed serious horsepower for its time, delivering smooth torque and confident acceleration. You didn't just press the gas pedal, you commanded it. On an open highway, the Impala didn't rush. It cruised, effortless power. Smooth glide, windows down, wind in your hair, and radio playing in the background. That's the kind of driving experience modern cars try to simulate with artificial sound. Impala did it naturally. Inside, it was just as dramatic. Wide bench seats, chrome-accented dashboard, a steering wheel that felt like you were captaining a ship. The speedometer stretched across the dash like a piece of art. Everything about the interior reminded you this was the golden age of American automotive confidence. But here's what makes the '59 Impala truly legendary: wasn't just loved when it was new. It aged into an icon. By the 1970s and 80s, the 1959 Impala found a new life in Lowrider culture. Hydraulics, candy paint, wire wheels, carefully detailed engine bays. It became more than steel and chrome, it became identity, community, and expression. Few cars in history have crossed cultural lines the way this one did. And collectors, they noticed. What once sat in ordinary suburban driveways now sits under auction spotlights. Restored examples command serious money. Numbers matching 348 cars, even more desirable. Condition, originality, rare trim packages, all of it matters. The car that once symbolized everyday American success now symbolizes classic investment-grade history. But value isn't just about dollars. It's about presence. Park a 1959 Impala had a modern car meet. And watch what happens. Supercars might have sharper edges. Muscle cars might have bigger horsepower numbers. But the Impala draws a different kind of crowd. People don't just look, they smile. They remember stories. They talk about their father, their grandfather, that old photograph in the family album. Because this car carries emotion. The design itself marked a turning point in automotive history. 1959 was the only year Chevrolet used that extreme rear fin styling on the Impala. 1 year, one bold design risk. And that risk turned into immortality. By 1960, the fins were toned down. But the '59, it stayed wild forever. Driving one today is a completely different experience from modern cars. There are no driver aids, no traction control, no digital screens. It's mechanical. Direct, honest. You feel the road. You hear every vibration. You sense the engine's rhythm through the steering wheel. It demands attention and rewards respect. And let's talk about the sound one more time. That 348 doesn't scream like a high-revving exotic. It doesn't snap like a lightweight sports car. It rumbles, deep, confident, authoritative. It sounds like America in the late '50s, bold, optimistic, and stoppable. Even the details tell a story. The white wall tires, the chrome hubcaps reflecting the sunset, the dual headlights stacked proudly in the front, the wide grille stretching across the nose like a grin. Every angle feels intentional. This wasn't minimalism, this was maximumism. And that's exactly why it still works. In today's world of sharp LED lights and aerodynamic sameness, the 1959 Impala stands out like a time capsule from an era when car designers weren't afraid to be dramatic. They weren't afraid to dream big. They weren't afraid to build something unforgettable. The 348 badge on the fender wasn't just a number. It was a signal. You knew this wasn't the base model. You knew this one had muscle beneath the beauty. It blended elegance and power in a way few cars managed at the time. That balance is rare. Too much performance and you lose comfort. Too much style and you lose substance. The 59 Impala 348 watt that line perfectly. And maybe that's why it still captures attention decades later. It represents an era when cars were emotional. When buying a vehicle wasn't just about fuel economy or technology, it was about identity. It was about how you wanted the world to see you when you rolled down the street on a Saturday night. Today, if you're lucky enough to own one, you're not just owning a car. You're preserving history. Every polish of chrome, every tune-up, every careful cruise on a summer evening keeps that history alive. Because when the engine fires up and that low V8 rumble fills the air again, it's like 1959 never really left. The lights glow, the road stretches ahead, and the 1959 Chevrolet Impala 348 moves forward not just as a classic car, but as a legend that refuses to fade.